another guest with us today. He can introduce himself.
Roy Ayers, and I'm so excited to be here, to be a part of this wonderful project.
Okay. How and when did you meet my dad?
Wow. I met your dad in 1991. I had just joined Roy Ayers' band, and he left Stevie Wonder around that same time and joined Roy Ayers' band also. And that's when we first met. And we had great times together, and he showed me so much. But that's when we met. And I think my first show with him was in Detroit, Michigan. And then the rest is history.
Okay. What's the best memory of Dad, both as a musician and as a friend?
Oh, wow. Very many. As a musician, we used to play a song called Night in Tunisia. We used to play it real fast. And that was a great moment to hear his mastery of the drums and hear, because everybody knows he can play funky music, but not everybody knows how well he can swing and play jazz, real jazz. And he was so when we started doing Night in Tunisia, I had been doing it before Dennis came into the band with Roy, and we used to do it slow. But when Dennis came, there was a connection between Dennis and Roy, and they did the song real fast, real fast. I didn't even know what the bridge happened, and I figured it out after the fact that everything was just going by so fast. And I learned how to do it and play jazz basically because of Dennis, because of your dad. And he said, trust me and listen to me. And don't
Can
count.
you describe my dad in one word?
Fun. Awesome. Both of those are, that's two words, but I mean, you can, those are just, he's an awesome person. He's a fun person. And I can tell you a story about fun. Me and Dennis used to scare each other and hide from each other when we go to different places. And one funny story I have is, I mean, we had just finished an awesome show and we played and we're serious. And then we come back to the hotel, and our hotel, my room was right next to his room. So somehow he got into my room because our rooms were connected. So he was hiding in my room and I was hiding in his room. And we both were hiding from each other. And John came and looked at both of us and said, why don't y'all both come out now? Because we were both hiding from each other, and then realized he was in my room hiding from me, and I was in his room hiding from him. But we had all kinds of fun like that, because after every show we did, we used to go to jazz clubs and hang out and play jazz all night in every city. He just enjoyed life. And if I could say anything, that man knew how to live life with a passion and make every moment matter.
Okay. If you could play one song with Dennis again, which song would you want to play and why?
I would want to play, it's a jazz standard. If you're going to limit me to one song, it would probably be this song called Arrogant, because it's a jazz standard, and we played it at this jazz club in Philly years ago. And we just sat in, they didn't know who we were, and we had just done a show, and we played it so fast, and it was so awesome. And I would like to play it again and see where I'm at musically from that time to now. And if I were to pick another song, even though you said one, if I would pick another song, it would be to play probably Philadelphia Mambo, because years ago when we used to play it, it was so fast and it was hard and it was different for me to play a montuno at that speed. And he taught me how to play it and showed me what to listen for. And I don't think we played it maybe one time once I got it together on my side, on my end. Okay. But I would like to show him I know how to do it now. So I would love to play that with him again.
Okay. Can you give me an advice, something my dad would tell me?
There are no limitations as to what you can do out here, as long as you don't set any for yourself, and as long as you don't allow others to set any for you, and understand your own true reality at all times. Know who you are, and be proud of who you are,
Okay.
and live life with a passion. Best advice.
Okay. How does Dennis influenced you and other drummers or musicians?
Well, I can speak for how he influenced me, is he made you trust the drummer. Because so many musicians, when they play, they want to tap their feet, they want to count. And Dennis said, listen to my hi-hat, listen to my ride cymbal, just listen to me. I'm the time. You don't need to count. And to have that, to learn to think like that was a big influence, because it changed my whole perception. And maybe it was something I should have learned years ago, but I didn't. But he taught it to me, and I trust him and any drummer that I've ever played with since, because what it does is you get so caught up in listening to the drums. So when you're used to someone like Dennis, who has perfect time, when you're playing with someone whose time isn't as good, and you're trusting them, it totally can throw you off, because you're depending on their time. So having a trust for another musician, especially drums, is important. Now, how he influenced other musicians, I think, in different ways, because of his soul. He's a perfectionist, and he had no nonsense for a musician who wasn't on par with him, and if you were a musician who didn't care, a musician who was lackadaisical about the music. You can be lackadaisical off stage, playing and joking, but when you hit the stage, that's serious business, and it's fun. But it's only fun if you plan well, and if you plan the music well, then it's fun. But if you don't care and you play like you don't care, then Dennis will tell you to get off the stage. There was one time in Japan, there was a trumpet player who sat in and played with us, and two different times. One in Japan, the trumpet player went to sit in and play, and he was not that good. And Dennis told him, "You can't play with us." Told him, "Get off the stage." The same thing with a percussionist. The guy came with his congas, and he was playing, and Dennis is playing drums. It's time. So the conga player didn't gel well with Dennis. So he said, "Man, you're gonna have to take your percussion stuff off. You gotta go outside. I'm gonna have to break it down for you, but you can't play with us. You're not ready." So Dennis had no problems being up front with people, and you had to have thick skin to deal with him, because he will tell you like it is. And either you're gonna get your feelings hurt and get mad, or you're gonna look at what he's done out here and take him serious and say, okay, he's not just being facetious or mean, and yeah, I may not have liked what he said, but if I pay attention to it, he's gonna make me a better musician. So I take that route. Let me listen to what he's saying and let me check it out, and it might make me better. And it did. Oh yeah, it's a special thing.
Bye everybody. Subscribe to my Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram page, and leave a like down below if you liked it, and leave a dislike if you think I can change anything in the video. Bye.
Bye. Thank you.
See you in the next video.
Take care. It's a great project. Please pay attention and support